Welcome to FitChicks Chat, the podcast dedicated to fitness, nutrition, wellness, and mindset. For more information on FitChicks Academy and our upcoming fitness and nutrition expert certification, as well as our holistic nutrition weight loss coaching certifications, please visit fitchicksacademy.com. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy today's episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to FitChicks Chat, the podcast dedicated to fitness, nutrition, and wellness. My name is Amanda Quinn. I'm one of the co-founders of FitChicks Academy, and I'm super happy to have you here. Today, I am sharing with you some personal lessons that I learned over the years. So right now, we have our fitness and nutrition expert certification program starting on March 24th. So if you've been interested in getting certified as a group fitness instructor, a personal trainer, a nutrition coach, and a wellness coach, then this episode is definitely for you because it's going to share with you exactly how basically the top 5 lessons that I learned over the years of teaching group fitness and how it impacted my career, our lives, our business, our income, everything. So these are going to be some insights into that and how basically you can take these lessons and help build a thriving coaching business and make massive impact. So if you're an aspiring coach or you're already leading classes, these lessons will help you maximize your effectiveness, your income, and transform and create for your clients. So again, if you are interested though, check it out, fitchicksacademy.com fitchicksacademy.com. That's where you can go. If you go under our programs, you can check it out. Our fitness and nutrition expert certification, like I said, it is starting on March 24th. So let's dive in. So what were the 5 lessons learned over the years of teaching group fitness classes that really impacted not only our business, but our career and our time and our income and the impact that we made with our clients? And the first thing is that group fitness is more powerful than personal training. Now, I know that sometimes people are like, but I prefer personal training, one-to-one coaching. It's more personal. It's more intimate. Here's the thing is that when you're teaching group fitness classes, you can make it a personalized approach in a group fitness program. This is actually one of the things that we teach. It's like a whole section in our certification because I think it's something that can make it so powerful when you're doing group fitness classes. But group fitness classes, I feel, are more powerful than personal training because, group fitness allows for you to be able to help more people at once, which allows for you to increase your income and increase your impact. So instead of coaching, for example, one person for 1 hour, you could coach 10 or 20 or even more, depending on your comfort level, allowing you to scale your efforts without sacrificing quality. It's also Group fitness is oftentimes more affordable for clients, making it more accessible to more people. When you think about personal training sessions are on average anywhere from $50 to $100 per hour. But group fitness classes are generally anywhere from $10 to $20 per class. So it allows for it to be much more accessible for people, especially for the long term, right? There's a lot of people that might be able to afford personal training, but oftentimes, if you're looking at it on an annual scale, it's going to be a really high expense versus group fitness, which allows for you to have a little bit more flexibility from a budgeting standpoint. And the other thing is that group fitness has like this energy. It is infectious. When people work out together, motivation skyrockets, retentions improve because people are really excited about it. And when you're teaching personal training, like one-to-one, it really is hard to get that consistent energy and that excitement up because it's really about you giving so much energy and then trying to get that energy back from the other person. But in group fitness, it's like everyone's motivated by everyone else. They're seeing other people pushing harder, other people running a little faster, doing things that they thought were impossible. And then they're like, hey, wait a second. If that person can do it, the impossible becomes possible. And then they start seeing what is possible for them as well. So that is the first thing, is that group fitness, I believe, is more powerful than personal training for that reason. Now, the second lesson that I learned by teaching group fitness classes over an entire decade of teaching is that creating a community keeps people coming back. By creating a community, you are able to truly build a connection with people and have them coming back because they have a sense of belonging. When you know you have this place that you feel like it's at home. Like if I don't know if anyone is listening right now, but you've heard of like that show. There was an old TV show, a sitcom called Cheers, and it was about like everybody going to this bar and then they get everyone. But then it was like everybody went there because when they would show up, that one guy, everybody would be like Norm, and they'd all say his name and stuff. It creates this energy, this sense of belonging, this sense of home. And every human being, we all have the same desires and needs, regardless of who we are. We all have the same desires of wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to be loved, and wanting a sense of belonging. And so when we can create that in our group fitness classes and create a community that makes people feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves, it keeps them coming back. So how do you do this? You do this by you learning your clients' names, acknowledging them when they show up. It sounds so simple, but oftentimes it's missed by a lot of coaches. If you think about a lot of gyms, you show up, nobody knows your name, nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares if you're there or not, usually in bigger gym settings. And so when you're creating a business, and when we were creating our boot camp programs, that was actually one of our priorities, was learn every single person's name, understand their why. What is it that they are coming here for? What is their deep reason being? So that I can then support them on that journey, and I can ensure that they're actually reminded of that why consistently. Now, the other thing you want to do is create a culture where members support each other. So, whether that be celebrating wins, encouraging new participants, playing fun games, challenges, different events, whatever it is in those classes, I used to do this one thing and it was really fun. On my very first class of every session, I would have everyone do a wall sit. So, just like a squat against the wall, backs against the wall, and we'd just be holding this wall sit, and I would play 20 questions. And 20 questions was simply just asking silly questions. Do you prefer apples or oranges? Do you prefer this? Do you eat protein with every meal? Blah, blah, blah. Those kinds of like fun little questions that were so simple, but it kind of get everybody to know each other. Sometimes I'd be like, are you a fan of this music or whatever? And I would always have things where if they said yes, they had to do 5 burpees. If they said no, they had to do one sprint back and forth like a lap and then come back into their wall sit. It was effective. It was hard. It was challenging from a fitness standpoint, but it also got people connecting and responding and engaging with each other, especially on first class. When you have new members joining with older members, it creates a sense of community and belonging. The other thing that I used to do with community connections that I thought was such a cool thing was after class, we would all hang out after class. Like we would literally hang out, and I would bring some snacks, sometimes like some homemade something that I tried, this new recipe. And we would all sit around and just like have a little snack and like get to know each other, talk a little bit more. And then I found out this sense of community was so strong. This bond was so strong in my classes that my group was actually meeting every Saturday to go for walks together. How amazing is that? It didn't happen in the beginning, but it happened over time. By creating that sense of belonging, they truly felt so connected to one another that they started planning things outside of the program itself. That's when you know as a coach that you've completely won, because it's like, oh my gosh, everything that you need is right here. So that's the second thing that I learned about teaching fit after teaching group fitness classes for over a decade. Now, the third thing is that accountability is the secret to client success. Almost every single person knows, if you say to them, if they say to you, I want to get healthy, they all know I need to move my body and probably look at my diet. Those are the things that people know. But the problem is that most people struggle with consistency. They struggle with consistently showing up for themselves. They feel like they have to will themselves through things. They have to push through things. But that's why accountability is a game changer in fitness coaching. So how do you set up accountability with your coaching? So you could do things like setting up systems for check-ins. You could do text messages, social media groups, email reminders. You can encourage your clients to set specific goals and track their progress. We used to do a fitness assessment at the beginning of our program and at the end of the program that allowed for them to see their progress. And it wasn't based on like weight or measurements. Like we had those options, but we also had the one that was based on fitness. So it was really just based on their strength and endurance and how much they've increased over time. You could also pair people up in your programs with accountability buddies. So that would create this built-in support. One of the things that we did for our bootcamp programs was the accountability was that people would have, if they didn't show up to class, we would email them right after class. And it wasn't like a negative thing. It was really just, hey, I noticed, Amanda, that you weren't at class today. How can I support you? And did you do your at-home workout? It's on the membership site. So we always provided them with at-home workouts in case they weren't able to make it to class, if they got stuck in traffic or stuck at work late or whatever their reason being is, they always had an option. The other thing that we used to do too, though, is we would celebrate their successes. This is such a big thing, and I think it's such a huge miss by a lot of coaches. We would celebrate their successes after class. I would literally send a quick video message or a quick text message or a message to my clients and email to them saying, "Hey, Amanda, I noticed today that you were doing push ups on your toes and I'm super proud of you." Or I noticed that you were doing sprints instead of power walking today and that's incredible. How are you feeling? You should feel really proud of yourself. A simple message like that would take me maybe 5 minutes after class to message every single one of my students, but it mattered. It showed them that they were being seen, they were being heard, they were feeling supported, and they had accountability. They wanted to come back. So create some sort of an accountability, some sort of a check-in with your programs so that people know that you are counting on them. Now, the fourth thing that I learned over teaching group fitness classes for over a decade is that offering modifications makes you a better coach, period. When you offer modifications, levels, options, you are supporting your clients. You're saying to them, you matter, and I want to make sure that you are getting the most out of this. I am going to challenge you, but I'm not going to overwhelm you. I'm going to let you leave my classes feeling supported, feeling excited to come back. The last thing that you want is for someone to leave feeling frustrated or to feel overwhelmed or to feel like I spent half the class just marching in place because I wasn't able to do certain exercises. You need to offer modifications and levels. We have a massive, like an entire section in our fitness and nutrition expert certification where we just focus on teaching you not only modifications, levels, and options, but how to actually introduce them to your groups, how to actually work with people if they have injuries. I had someone in my class for years who, when she came to my program, she had just recovered from breast cancer. And one of her arms, her left arm, she had no strength in it whatsoever. So she was really limited to the types of movements she could do. But I needed her to know that in my boot camp program, that didn't matter, that I was able to support her on her journey towards her better health and well-being and building strength. And over time, we worked together for years. And all I did was make sure that she always had modifications. She had options. When we were doing partner work, she would partner work with me. So then that way there she felt supported. And by the end of it, she was doing push-ups again. She was doing chest presses. She had no issues. And that is to do with her will and to do with my ability to be able to offer modifications and options to support her in the best way possible. So if you're not offering modifications, people will either push through their pain risking injury or feel like they don't belong. So the first thing I want you to do is always demonstrate 3 different options: level 1, level 2, level 3. We teach this in our certification. It is so key. The next thing you want to do is watch your participants and adjust exercises on the spot as needed. So when I was teaching group fitness classes, I wouldn't necessarily, I'd be at the front of the room demonstrating something and then I'd be moving around the space. I never just did the workout. I would always be focused on each individual as if I was doing personal training in a group model. And you want to encourage your clients as well to listen to their bodies and choose options that works best for them. Understanding where they are at and where their maximum effort is so important. Giving them that autonomy to be able to make those decisions is so key because it helps them to really feel in control and to be like in the driver's seat of their own health. So I want you to make sure that you're making all your classes accessible and that you're creating an environment where everybody feels included. If you're not creating an inclusive environment, you're really doing yourself and your clients a disservice. Now, the fifth thing that we learned and teaching group fitness for over a decade is that the energy that you bring creates a ripple effect. Your energy as an instructor doesn't just impact the people in your class, it spreads to their families, their workplaces, and their communities. And this is 100% true. If you bring a high energy to your class, enthusiasm, your clients are going to feed off of it. It's going to carry on to their positivity into their lives. On the flip side, if you are coaching and you're standing there, you're on your phone checking text messages. I've seen this in classes before and I was like blown away. You're checking text messages or you're just kind of like monotonous, like this low tone. You don't have to be like this rah-rah cheerleader, right? But you have to bring energy. People feed off of your energy, especially in the hard parts. You've got to be the one that's holding them up. So your classes become more than just workouts. They become the highlights of someone's day. I want to repeat that. Your classes, if you're bringing the right energy, can become more than just a workout. It can actually become the highlight of someone's day. So I want you to prioritize the idea behind what energy am I bringing to class? You know, before every single class, I used to sit in my car and I would sit there for 5 minutes beforehand and I would say, okay, whatever happened, if I ran into traffic on the way there, if I had a bad day, if I was like, not feeling 100%, whatever it was, it's like that stays here. Because when I walk in that room, I've got to show up with confidence, with high energy. I have to make sure that I am inspiring my group to push themselves to their maximum efforts because that is my job. That is my job and that is my goal. And so I want you to remember the energy that you bring is a ripple effect. It's going to impact not only your clients, but it's going to impact them as soon as they leave the room. It's going to have them talking the next day at work about how amazing your classes are, how amazing you are as a coach. So really just try to set aside anything else and focus just about that moment. Never underestimate the power of your presence as a coach. You are not just leading a workout, you are leading a movement in one person's life, five people's life, 10's lives, like tens of thousands of people, right? You don't know how big this can be, but I just want you to remember it's not just about the class itself. It's about so much more. So bring that energy and really focus. And so those are the five main lessons that I wanted to share with you today. Now, if you again are interested in teaching group fitness classes, personal training, offering nutrition and wellness support, and becoming a holistic fitness coach, I encourage you to check out our site, fitchixacademy.com, where you can learn more about our fitness and nutrition expert program. Like I said, we start on March 24th. We are going to be teaching you everything that we need, everything that you need to become an amazing coach and offer this one-stop shop opportunity. This 4-in-1 certification gives you everything you need to be able to be a community leader. Teaching group fitness classes has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. And these lessons have really shaped me as a coach. And if you are someone, I encourage you to embrace that. I encourage you to embrace the idea of group fitness classes. And group doesn't have to mean 20 people, it can mean 3 people, 5 people. But I encourage you to build something bigger than just a workout, build a community, a movement, and make lasting impact. So thank you so, so much for listening today. Again, check it out, fitchixacademy.com. Our program starts on March 24th. We would love to welcome you to the Academy and get you certified and out in your community, making impact, income, and changing people's lives.